There's a whole year accounted for here. If he was still alive, why wouldn't he have went for her again that same night?
Look, you're seriously looking to me to make sense of this shit? Who the fuck knows? Maybe he decided to take a vacation, he got tired of it. Maybe he had to claw his way out and it took a long fucking time. Maybe he just laid down and took a nap for a goddamn year. Take your pick.
Fair enough. Lucky for you, I dug up some records pertaining to a missing person. They really didn't want anyone to find this. Her parents went through hell trying to track her down, and the timeline lines up with the killings in '89.
Who was she?
A young woman by the name of Tina Williams.
Oh. Stop right there. We do not talk about her.
But she could be the key to...
We don't talk about her.
Mr. Leach, we...
Doc!
Very well.
So Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, tells the story of Michael Myers once again waking up from a coma on a blood vendetta to wipe out his last remaining family member, his young niece, Jamie Lloyd. Welcome back to the Halloween reviews, everybody. If you have not seen already, if you're new to this channel or if you're just catching up with this, I've already reviewed the first 4 films in the Halloween franchise. So if you want to go chronologically, pause this video, go check that shit out, come back here. But for everybody that is kept up to date with me and is ready to talk Halloween 5 and the gigantic fucking mess that it is, let's talk some Halloween 5. So after the success critically and financially and fan reception-wise of Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers finally back on top in the slasher world, we get Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, which I will go out on a limb and say is the exact example of what happens when a studio only cares about profiting. And they only care about the box office, and they only care about bouncing off of a successful sequel to make one as quickly as possible to gobble up as many box office dollars as they can before that hype has died. This is what happens. This is what happens. You get Halloween 5. Thank you so much, Dimension. But before I get into all my rant-worthy details about Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, let's talk about some of the things that I actually like about this movie. This should be quick. One thing that I always like about this movie as far as the imagery, as far as the atmosphere goes, I like how this movie kind of does feel like almost harvest season. Like it feels like fall, it feels like autumn. Even all of the different devices that Michael uses in his kills in this movie all have to do with harvest or farming, like pitchforks and scythes and all these things that just kind of have that autumn feel to them. You know, the movie is very themed in that autumn harvest season thing. And that does help a Halloween movie go down a little smoother. Moving on from that, there is one line of dialogue by Loomis, which he usually has at least 1 or 2 in every movie that you could damn near write on a piece of paper and post on your wall because it's such a badass quote. And he's got one in this movie that's something along the lines of, "I had hoped that he would burn in hell forever, but I knew in my heart that hell would not have him." That is bad fucking ass. And in the third act of this movie, you get a very cool sequence and a very kind of heart-pumping sequence, honestly, where Jamie is hiding in a laundry chute and Michael keeps going from above to the top of the laundry chute to below the laundry chute to get her to reach up, to reach down, stabbing a knife into the vent, which apparently in the actual shooting of that, she was accidentally cut. So a young girl gave some blood for this scene. It's a cool scene. It's a cool scene. It shows how Michael and the portrayal of Michael is very vicious. It shows how determined he is to kill this little motherfucker. And Jamie Lloyd and Daniel Harris are very effective in this scene at being terrified and just being in a situation where it feels like there's no escape. I'm done. This is how it ends, in a fucking laundry chute. Yeah, that's it for positives. Moving on to the negatives. Holy shit. This movie is fucking horrible, people. I caught a lot of shit when I did my original Halloween ranking, and I put this at the bottom of my ranking, even under Resurrection, which is kind of the universal known worst Halloween film for probably 98% of movie fans out there. Caught tons of shit about it. Even though I'm saying they both suck, I'm saying this one sucks a little bit worse and everybody's jumping down my throat about it. Well, I'm here to tell you, I've yet to revisit Resurrection, so maybe when I revisit Resurrection, I will switch that because I'll see all the hate-fueled things in Resurrection that everybody just harps on constantly. But with rewatching Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, as of this moment, I stand by this being the worst in this franchise. Talk about a movie that completely shits on everything that came before it. I mean, when they had Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers came out, this was the return of an icon. This was a rebirth of a franchise. Even though you guys know my thoughts on Halloween 3 and my curiosity for where that could have taken us, all horror fans pretty much universally wanted Michael Myers back. They got their wish in Halloween 4, and Halloween 4 is far and away a fan favorite of this franchise. And it left the coals of this franchise white fucking hot with that ending. Halloween 5 says, fuck that. I don't care what ending you had. I don't care what details were in Halloween 4. I don't care what you wanted to see. Forget all of it, because you're not getting it. None of it. So you know how at the end of Halloween 4, how, you know, Michael Myers is dead and his, you know, essence or the curse of Michael Myers kind of comes into Jamie Lloyd, turns her into the killer that Michael Myers became as a young boy. She stabs her foster mother to death, and she stands at the top of the stairs covered head to toe in blood while Dr. Loomis has that blood-curdling scream. Yeah, Halloween 5 says, nah, that shit didn't really happen. She just kind of attacked her, you know, foster mother. She's not dead, and she's also a mute now, and Dr. Loomis is a crazy asshole. Yeah, that's the direction that we're going. Are you fucking kidding me? That's what you do with that ending. So let's just go down the line, people. Let's start talking about the characters. I already told you about it, but yeah, Jamie Lloyd, she's a mute now. She's a mute until the third act of the movie. Her biggest line in the movie is this. Why the fuck you would turn your main character and one of the top billing actors in your movie, one of the saving graces of Halloween 4, into a character that can't fucking communicate with other characters or the audience? It's beyond me. I don't know where the creativity is in that. That seems like a no-brainer stupid fucking idea. Oh, but Loomis is there. You know, Loomis, who's kind of the heart and soul of the Halloween franchise, the guy that's carried through in pretty much every single one of the sequels in the original, you know, run of these movies, the one that's constantly looking after whoever Michael Myers is after, the one that's constantly trying to lay down his life to stop Michael Myers, to stop the evil, the selfless, awesome human being that Loomis is. He's gone. He's a crazy old fucking crackpot in this movie that shakes the shit out of young children, who's clearly scared to death of him as much as she is Michael Myers, about details that he wants. Just let's shake the shit out of her and be a crazy asshole. Let's hold her up for Michael Myers as bait. Let's do all the shit that Loomis would never fucking do in any version of this character. Why? Because the director just wants to do something different.
Why? Why are you protecting him? What about your stepmother, Jamie? You love her, don't you? He made you stab her.
Like, Loomis is totally unlikable in this movie. When you have a Loomis that is totally unlikable and is there just because the plot feels like it's necessary to have Loomis there, and he totally goes against everything that we know and love about that character, you're ruining it. Like, you're totally shitting on the character. Just don't have him in the movie at all if you're gonna fuck with him. Oh, Rachel! You guys remember Rachel from Halloween 4? Like, the really good character that kind of took care of Jamie Lloyd and was one of the better final girls of this franchise. Some would say of slashers in general. Very good character, right? Hope you're not too attached to her, because she's got about 6 minutes of screen time. No! Yep. You know, you get movies once in a while that will kill a beloved character to up the stakes, to up the ante, to shock audiences. This movie pretty much throws her away like yesterday's leftover McDonald's. But there's a reason, people. There's a reason why Rachel gets killed off so unceremoniously and so disrespectfully in the first act of this movie before she gets to do a single fucking thing besides take a shower. And that is so we can make room for this glowing, loving character that is going to carry the rest of this movie and is going to have all of your attention for the next 3 acts of Halloween 5. I give you all Tina. You know those people out there that say that Trent from the 2009 Friday the 13th remake is the worst character in slasher movie history? Well, I see all of your crazy bullshit and I raise you a Tina. You have not seen or experienced an annoying character in any movie, in any genre, like you have with Tina. Tina is fucking mind-numbingly awful. Hey, whichever one of you writers came up with the idea of Tina and wrote her dialogue, and anybody that actually allowed her to act the way that she acted throughout the runtime of this movie, I have a message for you. Boop-a-da, boom-a-da, boop-a-da, 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 boop-a-da. I'm not exaggerating. From the moment that this character comes on screen, within 2 seconds, you want Michael Myers to fillet her the fuck open. And there's some characters in slashers where that is a fun thing to go with. That is a character that you cannot wait to get cut open in the third act, like a lot of people had for Trent in the 2009 Friday the 13th remake. Tina, unfortunately, we can't get that enjoyment because we have to stick with her annoying ass for the entire fucking movie. We hate her to the point that when it finally comes down to it and she jumps out of nowhere to save Jamie, and you know Myers is about to drive that fucking kitchen knife 6 inches deep into her ass, it's like the scene in Game of Thrones when Joffrey started to cough. Everybody was just kind of like, it's happening. There's some other characters in here too, like Tina's friends, which are just kind of boring, mind-numbing characters as well. Oh, you get 2 cops in this too, who are like the examples of the dimwit, dumb fucking cops. And they even have their weird-ass little theme music to tell you that they're dumb as fuck, just in case you don't have eyes and can't tell within 3 seconds that they're dumb as fuck.
All clear. Nothing above, nothing below.
What the fuck is that? Is this Halloween or Goosebumps? But now, let's get into Myers. Now, while I will say I don't exactly hate the portrayal of Myers in this movie, I think it's serviceable at most. Everything else surrounding Myers, from the look, from the story direction, and the writing around what that character is doing and where he is going for the next part of this franchise, is one gigantic fucking mistake, over and over and over again. When we're first introduced to Michael, it calls back to the end of Halloween 4 when he hits, you know, a bunch of gunfire, falls into that mine shaft, and then this movie tacks on a little grenade, something that they throw in there to blow up the mine shaft, but Michael escapes into a river and floats down to safety, where he lives for an entire fucking year, comatose, in this weird-ass little cabin with this old man hermit. The only version of that story that makes sense is that old man hermit was butt-fucking Myers' unconscious corpse for a solid year, and eventually he got tired of it and woke up.
There's nothing out there, Chucky.
Now do you understand why this movie is called The Revenge of Michael Myers? But Michael Myers wakes up, and then the movie establishes that there was never actually any like evil incarnate or curse that was passed into Jamie that made her kill her foster mother. No, it's just this psychic connection that her and Michael have. They have this mind-melding shit going on where she can see what Michael sees, Michael can see what she sees, and Michael can apparently make her do shit like attack her foster mother. And yeah, I don't really have any explanation for that. That's just fucking dumb. Oh, yeah, that definitely looks like the mask from Halloween 4. People, The Michael Myers mask, while being extremely important, is one of the most simple masks in fucking history. Why is it so difficult to recreate this damn thing, or at least keep one mask in some fucking vacuum sealed bag somewhere that we can reuse time and time again? Why does this shit change so drastically from movie to movie? And I'll go out on a limb and say that Halloween 5 is in the running for worst looking Michael Myers mask in this franchise. Don't worry though, because he changes out that mask for another one about 2/3 of the way through. Check this shit out.
You're wearing my present. I want you to know, I just love barbaric men.
If there was a way to demasculate Myers any more than making him wear that fucking thing, I would like to see it. Fair enough, I stand corrected. But even beyond all of that, you get this thing with the man in black. This little detail that they sprinkle in maybe twice throughout the entirety of the runtime of the movie until the final 2 minutes, hinting that something is coming. Someone is coming, some twist is coming, some direction is coming that we don't see coming. And it all makes sense somewhat once you get to Halloween 6, kind of. But by the end of this movie, they create this whole cliffhanger twist thing involving this man in black, this mysterious dude with the fucking silver tipped shoes, that makes Halloween 5 one of those things that I fucking hate, and a term that I've basically coined a stepping stone movie. You had Halloween 4 that got everybody on board. You had things that you wanted to do eventually in Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, but you didn't know how quite to get from A to B, so you make this little half-ass piece of shit called Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, to get from point A to point B so that you can explore all these weird fucking ideas you had involving the cult and, you know, raping your niece and weird baby cult demon magic shit that Michael Myers is involved with, and we'll save that for the next review. But you know where I'm going with this. Halloween 5 introduces this twist with the man in black, doesn't utilize it at all except for to have this cliffhanger to hang everybody by their nuts until Halloween 6 comes out, which took 6 fucking years. So clearly they didn't really know what the fuck they were doing. They just threw some shit out there to leave some tales to play around with later. Fuck you for that. And above all else, guys, one of the biggest fucking flaws with this movie, from all of the ridiculous shit that I've told you, you would think that this movie at least moves along at a good clip and is at least maybe at best so bad that it's good or so bad that it's mildly entertaining for just the wildness, right? No, Halloween 5 is far and away the most boring installment in this entire franchise. One of the most cardinal sins a movie can make is being boring as fuck. At least be so bad that I can't stop watching. Be a car accident. Don't be boring and bad. God damn. But overall, guys, I've gone on long enough. You pretty much know how this is gonna go. I think that this movie is dreadful. I think that there are extremely few redeeming factors about it. I think this is a gigantic smack in the face of Halloween 4, which is a beloved sequel of this franchise. It sets up shit that just went in a weird direction later on, and it's one of those stepping stone movies that just is out there to make money because everybody was excited after Halloween 4, which just never goes well for us fans of these movies. So, Halloween 5, you did it to yourself. Here it comes. So if you're a fan of this franchise, if you're a fan of Halloween 4 and you want to see what happens next, just stay at home and write it on a piece of paper, your own fan fiction version of what happens next. Because what actually happens next is a gigantic piece of shit movie that sucks and has very little redeeming factors, while a pile of shit that they do wildly fucking wrong. So Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Fuck this movie. So what do you guys think of Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers? Are you a fan of this movie? Do you think I'm way too hard on it? Do you have nostalgia for it? Are there things that you actually like about it? Are you a Tina defender? Please tell me that's not actually a hashtag out there. Fucking hashtag Tina Defender. But if it is, tell me down below. Also down below, you can like and subscribe to my channel. If you're not already a subscriber, I'd appreciate it. And you have in the video description as well a social media little frenzy going down there. So you got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You have my Spreadshirt store, which is a lot of really cool t-shirt designs designed by the great Woody Bowen, and cool stuff that you horror fans are going to eat up. So check that out, guys. I will appreciate it, and you will like these Cody Leach shirts. And I want to see all of them on you, either on Instagram or something. Send them to me. And you also have my Patreon page, which is a great way to give back to this channel, help it grow, and also get cool exclusive content for your eyes only, such as the ability to choose topics for me to review or do a top 5 on, or whatever you want to see me talk about. You have the privilege if you're a certain tier of my Patreon, and you have the ability to get all the Blu-ray digital copy codes that I buy for every single week almost, and the Blu-rays that I give all those digital copy codes away to my patrons. That's also patron exclusive, so check that out, guys. And if you want to check out some more of my videos, including the rest of this Halloween franchise leading up to the Halloween 2018 review in October 18th or 19th, depending on how fast I get to see that movie, you can check all that out by clicking right over here.